Nobody buys a nuclear reactor for speed. They buy it because everything else is gone. A full-size reactor arrives in the 2030s. A gas turbine around 2031. About 10 gigawatts of AI nuclear deals signed. The biggest one moving is a restart. This episode is about that arithmetic, not a scandal, a cue. Where the electricity behind artificial intelligence will actually come from and when, because the when turns out to be the entire story. Over the past 2 years, the biggest names in AI went shopping for nuclear power. Google, Amazon, Meta, Microsoft. 13 deals, about 10 gigawatts of announced capacity. On paper, it reads as the revival of an entire industry. Part of that capacity is not new at all. It is output from plants already running, resold under a new name. A gigawatt deserves a picture. One full-size reactor makes roughly that much, and the newest AI data centers are being planned around a gigawatt apiece. Then you read the delivery dates. Google's agreement with Kairos Power aims for its first reactor around 2030. Amazon's deal with X Energy points at the early 2030s as well. Meta signed with TerraPower for up to 8 natrium plants, 2.8 gigawatts of baseload and storage on top. First power as early as 2032. Line the deals up by the year each reactor is supposed to deliver its first power. The next 4 years sit almost empty. The bars stack up after 2030. Out of 13 projects, 2 have work happening on the ground. Microsoft and Constellation, 835 megawatts, a reactor being returned to service. And the demonstration plant in Tennessee, 50 megawatts, foundations going in this spring. Against 10,000 megawatts under contract, the new construction is half of 1%. So the announced capacity is not electricity yet, it is a calendar, and almost every page of that calendar says 2030 something. The obvious next move is sitting right there. Skip the atom. Buy a gas turbine. A gas turbine burns natural gas to spin a generator. Utilities have installed them for half a century. Proven, ordinary, quick, that is the reputation. And AI cannot wait quietly. Data centers are signed, sites are cleared, chips are on order. The missing ingredient is the power feed. So call the factory. For a large turbine, the wait from order to delivery has stretched past 5 years. Order one today and it goes to work around 2031. The same decade everyone was trying to avoid. The fast option is not fast anymore. GE Vernova, the biggest turbine maker, carries a backlog, machines already sold and waiting to be manufactured, of 80 gigawatts, stretching into 2029. Its chief executive expects reservations to be sold out to 2030 by the end of this year. The order books explain the queue. 399 gas turbines sold worldwide in 2024, 846 in 2025, from 58 gigawatts worth of machines to just over 100. 427 of those turbines are headed for the United States alone. Everyone reached for the boring option at the same time. The boring option formed a line, a long one. That is the turn this story hides. The problem was never that nuclear is slow. The scarcity is not in reactors. It is in every large machine that turns fuel into electricity. A new full-size reactor, the 2030s. The fast alternative, 2031. Both doors open onto the same decade, which leaves exactly one source of large-scale power that already exists in the physical world, fully assembled. Reactors that were built, ran for decades, and were switched off. A shut-down nuclear plant in Michigan is coming back to life. Crews have replaced the reactor head penetrations and refurbished the steam generator tubing. More than 5,000 work items remain. This is Palisades. It made power for 50 years, then went quiet in 2022. It was heading the other way entirely. The new owner, Holtec, originally took it over to dismantle it. The market turned before the cutting began. In plain terms, the hard part is done. The openings in the reactor's lid were replaced. The tubes that turn its heat into steam were made sound again. The primary circuit was chemically scrubbed. A new refueling machine went in. The turbine generator was overhauled. Fresh fuel was inspected and accepted. No company in America has ever returned a permanently shut commercial reactor to service. Palisades would be the first. What remains is the long tail. More than 5,000 individual work activities on the restart checklist. Tests, inspections, sign-offs. The regulator cleared the way a year ago. In July 2025, Palisades got its operating license back. What is left now is not paperwork, it is testing. Watch what that tail does to a schedule. Holtec said the plant would reconnect to the grid by the end of February 2026. February came and went. By July, there was still no announced restart date, just a checklist shrinking. The chief executive still expects power this year, ahead of the contract, which starts deliveries in March 2027. Promise dates on one side, the calendar on the other. The distance between them is measured in quarters, not weeks. And nobody is pouring new foundations here. The dome, the vessel, the turbines, every heavy piece already existed. Bringing finished machinery back to life has taken years, and it still carries no firm date. That, right now, is the fastest large-scale option on the menu. Microsoft's 3 Mile Island restart runs on the same logic. The machinery exists. That is the whole advantage. Why is a restart the fast lane? Because the benchmark for building new is Vogtle in Georgia, America's newest full-size reactors. 2 units, 1,114 megawatts each. Construction began in 2009. The plan said running by 2016 and 2017 for $14 billion. The reality? The first unit started up in July 2023, the second in May 2024. The cost passed $30 billion. 7 years late, more than double the money. That is the going rate for a brand new reactor in America. Nobody hit these numbers. They are simply what building a full-size reactor costs in a country that had not started a new reactor project in decades. Small reactors were supposed to fix this. The flagship project of that wave, NewScales, was cancelled in 2023 as costs climbed, before any concrete was poured. On those deals, the only new reactor with concrete in the ground is a 50 megawatt demonstration unit, and the one at scale is a return, machinery that already existed brought back to service. Now the announcements read differently. The megawatts are real, but they are positions in a queue, not electrons on a wire. That is also why the deals stretch into the 2030s. The buyers are not naive. They are reserving spots in every line that exists: reactors, turbines, restarts, and taking whatever comes up first. A data center contract is written in megawatts. The grid answers in years. Going nuclear was never a statement about the atom. It is a statement about the market. Every other shelf was empty. About 10 gigawatts on paper. One old reactor coming back. Nobody bought a reactor for speed. They bought a place in line.